Our new technology release improves the user experience both on desktop and on mobile. And in addition, it provides an even more robust and modern cloud-native platform. Welcome to Omega 365 Friday.
After a longer period of beta testing, we are now excited to release our new technology framework.
Yes, and one thing that the users for sure will notice is that we have an improved grid control. It's faster, it's more user-friendly. If we have a little look here, this is the workflows grid. I can just scroll down here to get more data. You don't have to page to get the next data. And it's working fast and nice and more
much
user-friendly.
better
Yes.
user experience being
Yeah.
having infinity scrolling. Part of this new technology framework is that we are now utilizing .NET Core or .NET 6, the Vue.js web framework, and also a new data object.
Yes, which helps us implementing smarter and better performing and more user-friendly things, like we have new date picker, new lookup controls, and another performance gain we have when it comes to loading data from columns that are not shown. We don't load the data for those before it's actually selected to be a part of your grid.
Yes.
So small little improvements like that helps performance even better. And then, like here, if you want to filter for something, by default it opens here with contains. I can start typing what I'm looking, what I want to filter for. Or if I go down here and tick, it will automatically switch to in list. Of course, you can multi-select. I want to have the maintenance findings now. And then you will see that I can easily navigate, of course, then down here, and then I have the workflow on the left-hand side. I can do my work here.
Yep. You have it on your left side.
Yes.
That's also a new feature where you as a user can choose. Do you want to have the details on the right side or the left side?
Yes, so that's nice. I prefer to have it on the right side. Then I go through the workflow. And then not only the grid is updated when it comes to workflows, we have also updated the view of the actual workflow. You will see it's more narrow design, so it will fit in other places.
Yes.
So have a quick look at how this looks on a mobile phone, for example. So if I click on workflows, first of all, it opens up not in a grid because that doesn't work very well on a mobile.
You have a nice card view, list view. Also the filter is new components that are more adaptable to a smaller screen like we have now.
And here we have the actual workflow, and it works perfectly fine on a mobile device as well.
Yes.
And you will also see it when we are in a meeting, for example, and it's very common to add related workflows into the meeting agenda so that you can quickly get an overview of the stuff that you're going through.
Yep.
Like here we have agenda item risk related to material delivery, and there's a mitigating measure on the right side, which is a workflow. And now it looks very nice also in the meeting. So this kind of design, which also is responsive, works better for sure. Another key difference is also that we have changed the order of the actual workflow. So you will see here now that at the top, of course, we have the information about the workflow. And then step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yes.
Sounds logical, but we've had for a long time now the opposite way around, where you started with the current step and then you could scroll down to see the history in the reversed order.
Yep.
Based on what we've seen, we think that this is a more user-friendly way of working. And
in addition, it's also then better to read when you see the documentation of the process.
Yes.
That is now also available within the workflow itself.
Like here we have the process that maintenance findings are going through. At the top here we see the configuration options. We have the different steps it's going to go through, description of it, checklist being used. This step is mandatory, one can see, and it gives a nice overview of the process that you're going to go through. So here it's of course in that order, and now also the actual workflow itself is in that order. So and that's quite normal that you read through the information that has happened before, and then I think it's best to read it that way.
Yes.
So I think that would be a good improvement.
On the details page, you also have the grid options.
Yes. So here you can filter on the grid, easy to filter on the different fields, select the values, etc. We have the column selector where you can tick which columns to include in the view. You can also here move them around, and you can export the data, tick in which fields that you want to include and export to Excel or to PDF. And finally we have the layouts, the grid layouts that you have set up. You can
Yep.
save those and easily toggle between those that you have saved previously, including layouts that somebody has shared with you.
Yes. And then we also have a new way of adding data.
Yes, in some of the grids we support that you can add data directly. The risk register, for example, here you will see on top toggle new records panel. So if I open that one, here is where I put in the data. And it makes a clear segregation between where you add new rows and where you filter. Sometimes people get a little bit confused
Yes.
where to add the data and starts adding data in the filter row instead, but now it's very clearly distinguished. One of the coolest things here, I think, is this copy paste feature. Like now I selected those three, I click copy, click here, paste, and then it appears immediately there, but they are not saved in the database yet. And that's nice because in many cases you want to do some changes before you commit it. It could be because of the ID is a part of what you copy, and that might be some unique constraint so that you're not allowed. So then you don't get any further, you get an error message
Yep.
immediately. But now they are not stored in the database yet, so you can do the necessary changes. In this case, perhaps it was about moving it to another org unit. You want to have the same risk follow up in another org unit.
Yep.
Do that before you actually commit.
Yep.
So that you don't, for a period here, would have 3 similar risks in the same org unit. So I can do the stuff, then I commit the pasted rows. So that's a nice, good improvements that you will see in the new grid.
Yes. And this will be a transition, so we are not changing all application at once. We will take them step by step because our current technology and the new tech is running in parallel.
Yeah. And we will see it in workflows for sure, and many other apps will follow the coming weeks.
Yes.
And you will find the documentation on this on docsomega365.com. So, yeah, you can look forward to receive these updates in the coming weeks.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.